crazy circus that is Gridiron, where the lions might just bite your head off, Joe Harris is trying to rein in the crowd, Derek Malaise is juggling all the jobs, and the bishop is walking the tightrope.
How can you tell the difference between a circus and annual conference? Well, at annual conference, the clowns don't get out of just one car.
This year's theme for annual conference is Living Hope. The ideas they threw out included, is everyone okay? Pretend it isn't happening. Or just keep on swimming.
It's been a rough year for everybody. Linda Harker and Bob Long requested not to go back to General Conference. Who can blame them? They had hoped they had signed up for Holy Conversations, and instead they got the Hunger Games.
If there is a split, one proposal is to have Adam Hamilton and Maxie Dunham serve as team captains and choose up sides. So for them to because either way, I'm gonna get picked last. Or second to last. I'm trying to hold my breath. What will happen now? Is the United Methodist Church dead? They asked the bishops to lead. Had 2 years of talks, the Way Forward Committee. They had a plan from the majority, and then it was nothing. All the shine of each conference choosing who to marry, ordain the inclusion. It must have been too much, must have been too much. Instead, they're tightening up the loopholes. And is it even constitutional? Now it's not enough. No, it's not enough for me. Open hearts, minds and doors. Table 2 for me, for me. It's not enough. It's not enough. It's not enough for me, for me, for me. All the shine of each conference choosing who to marry, ordain the inclusion. It must have been too much, must have been too much. Instead, they're tightening up the loopholes. And is it even constitutional? Now it's not enough. No, it's not enough for me. Harshly punitive, invasive, destructive. Too much for me, for me. It is too much, harmful, painful. It is too much, hypocritical. It is too much for me, for me, for me.
Turn it off.
I don't know. This year, they separated the clergy and laity for General Conference delegate voting. Here are a few possible reasons why. Number 1, neither of them knows how to share. Number 2, the laity had plotted to whistle the Jeopardy tune if the pastors took too long. Number 3, to start a new who can vote the fastest competition, the clergy won. Number 4, it was a sheep and a goats kind of thing. You figure out which is which.
So 3 engineers are arguing about which is better, mechanical engineering or electrical or civil. The mechanical engineer says God must have been a mechanical engineer. Look at the joints in the human body.
The second says, no, God must have been an electrical engineer. Look at the nervous system.
The third said God had to be a civil engineer, because who else would have run a waste disposal pipeline right through a great recreational area?
Here are the top 10 things we wish the United Methodist Church was fighting over. Number 10, who has the best green bean casserole?
Number 9.
they're fighting over who is enjoying RuPaul's Drag Race or isn't even a sin.
Number 7, that we wish we were fighting over. Should the offering be before or after the sermon?
Number 6 on things we wish the United Methodist Church was fighting over. Is Trump the best president or the bestest ever president?
Number 5, youth director dress codes.
What we wish the United Methodist Church was fighting over: communion bread, Hawaiian, gluten-free, or homemade.
Absolutely. Number 3, how many angels can dance on a same-sex wedding cake?
Number 2, did Thanos have a point? And number 1, literally anything else. By the way, this song was a challenge. I was challenged to write this song, so for the Whitleys, this is for you. Because you know we're all about that grace, no judgment. We're all about that grace, no judgment. We're all about that grace, no judgment. We're all about that grace,
Grace.
John Wesley's pretty clear. We're all a hot mess. We need this grace from God, need more and not less. And so we share the ways we understand this space, prevenient, justifying, sanctifying grace. Prevenient is there before we even know it, pulling us closer, tugging strong at our heart, and justifying grace. When yes we say sanctifying grace is living more like Christ every day. Because you know we're all about that grace, not judgment. We're all about that grace, not judgment. We're all about that grace, not judgment. We're all about that grace, not Hey, United Methodists, don't let that judgment be the thing we kiss, because we know that we will go amiss. But I'm here to tell you, Jesus Christ, He lived and died and loved and showered us with grace.
I've just been wondering, why is it that we can make a nun a bishop, but we can't make a lesbian a bishop?
Why didn't Noah go fishing that often? He only had 2 worms.
The best thing was when Philip told us when he read the script, he's like, it took me like 10 minutes to get that.
Because of the ark, in case.
Yeah. Craig Stinson thought it might be fun to shake up annual conference before he retired by making it like a game show. However, his family feud idea was quickly shut down.
Do you know why they really got rid of the health screening at annual conference? The number of hangry pastors in the morning made it feel like the zombie apocalypse.
Yesterday, all my troubles seem so far. Time looks as though they're here to stay. Oh, I believe in yesterday. Suddenly, we got caught up in a terrible fuss. There's a shadow hanging over us. Oh, yesterday turned tragically. Why we had to go, I don't know. I wouldn't say. They say something coming along for yesterday. Church was such an easy game to play. Now I need a place to hide away. Oh, I believe
Congratulations to all of the retirees this year. However, it seemed a little tacky to stand outside a Freebie Center playing Nearer My God to Thee.
A lot of pastors are looking at the possibility of different careers. David Severe and David Wiggs had an idea for a Severe Wigs shop.
Harold Cook Moore and Chris Tate were opening up a restaurant, Cook Moore Tater Tot.
Well, Bob Long and Jennifer and I have been talking with April Coates about a specialty shop where we create things for the tall, the taller, and the tallest. We thought we could make long coats, long coats, or long coats.
And going into women's bladder control is Stephen Cagle.
In the hopes of getting more pastors to help with camp, we've come up with a new idea. It's called Survivor Methodist Camps. The winner gets to pick their own appointment.
First I was afraid, I was petrified. When I got my new appointment, hope I stay alive. My whole first year built to love, I forgot about my fear. Next summer came, as if the words I knew I'd hear. that you wish someone brought an infinity gauntlet and snapped her their fingers twice?
Someone needs to tell Bishop Nunn that the proper response to a point of order is not Dracarys!
New video game coming soon. Fortnite Methodist Edition. Everyone against everyone. Winner is the last one standing. Standing on the promises with the Spirit's sword.
If you haven't gotten the cultural references, there is a reason why everyone in your congregation is over 60.
2 points.
Are you through? I never quite knew the thoughts going through Guy's mind when he was in the midst of a sermon. You know, when he was really trying to make a great point. Luckily, Gridiron is here to help us out with that.
I see you staring at me. You're face to face with greatness and it shows. You don't even know what to do. It's commendable. You love the way my sermon always flows. Open your heart, let my words seep in. Yes, it's really me, your pastor. Breathe it in. You know it's alright if you applaud. When I speak to you, the word of God, what can I say except you're welcome for the lessons that I extend? It's okay, you're welcome. My sermon illustrations have no end. What can I say except you're welcome? You only know John Wesley 'cause of me. No need to be shy, it's okay, you're welcome. You're one of my many devotees. You're welcome, you're welcome. Okay, so we have this incredible blessing in Kirk Wortney, and he's not usually able to be here, but he puts together a video for us, and if you were here last year, oh yeah. So let's just enjoy what he has done to and for the lovely Board of Health Pensions and Death Benefits video.
House lights on now.
Ahead of annual conference, we wanted to provide an important update about matters coming for approval during our meeting, May 27th through 30th. In this video, we'll discuss the need to reduce the retiree medical benefit, our recommendation for a new health payment in 2020, an update on the unfunded liabilities of our annual conference for both pension and health benefits. It will take some time to make it through these topics, so we are very grateful that you'll spend your time on this video and give it your attention.
Many of you will remember that we had a very spirited discussion around retiree medical benefits last year at the annual conference. After a difficult vote, the annual conference decided not to change this benefit level. As a refresher, let's review our current benefit level.
You should pay the $200 a month.
$200, it's not too much. As you recall, when the board decided to increase the amount of direct bill for active clergy health insurance, many churches were forced to choose between paying the increased amount and paying their apportionments.
Yes, barring some sort of miracle. All right, we'll help ourselves. Yet again. People, we need some fundraising ideas.
Let's just write to David Bowie again.
No, he's done enough for this church. Anyone else?
Next, we want to address the recommendation we'll be bringing to switch group insurance providers for our active clergy. Under the Book of Discipline, the annual conference is required to provide access to health insurance for all full-time appointed clergy. Knowing this is our responsibility in caring for those who serve, we examined several options. We examined remaining self-insured in a plan structure much like the one we have now, but with higher premiums. We examined moving to a fully insured group plan through Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Oklahoma. We examined not providing a plan, but highly encouraging churches to pay a stipend to their pastor, allowing our clergy without access to other plans to purchase insurance on the government exchange. And we examined moving to the denominational group plan through WestPath. The name of this plan is HealthFlex. Are clergy still required to participate? And the answer to that question is yes. We know this seems unfair to they might be eligible to participate in the spouse's plan, or their church might be large enough that they could participate in a group plan for that local church's employees. The reason we require participation is that if we allowed participants to opt out, we would not be able to provide a group plan for those who have no other options. We will have an option for basic coverage that will cost a clergy person less than $100 a month. So yes, you must participate, but you can choose a coverage level requiring less than $1,000 a year.
Next, we want you to be aware of the status of our unfunded liabilities as an annual conference. We have unfunded liabilities because we have promised future benefits. We don't know exactly what the cost of those benefits will be for two reasons. First of all, we don't know how long the recipient is going to live. And secondly, we don't know what the market will do between now and when a recipient dies. In total, our unfunded liabilities stand at $55 million.
Grace and peace to each of you.
Now right leg up to Jesus, right leg up to Jesus. Well, right leg up to Jesus, up to Jesus, up to Jesus. Circle, circle to the Lord, circle, circle to the Lord, circle, circle to the Lord, and to the Lord, and to the Lord. Now Christ cross, up to Jesus. Christ cross, up to Jesus. Once and down, kick the down, once and down, kick the down, once and down, kick the sing, kick the sing.
Gridiron 2019 by Kurt Courtney.
A minister died and went to heaven. Ahead of him at the pearly gates was a guy in sunglasses and a leather jacket. The guy said to St. Peter, "I'm Joe Manillo, cab driver of Las Vegas." St. Peter gave him a golden robe and a golden staff, and then it was the minister's turn.
Hey, I'm Guy, United Methodist pastor for 45 years.
St. Peter gave him a cotton robe and a wooden staff.
But that man was a taxi driver, and he gets a golden robe, a golden staff.
Well, up here we go for results. While you preached, people slept. While he drove, people prayed.
What is the most popular fiction among clergy? The end of year report.
You know, appointments finished late this year, and actually, they're still not even done. Some thought it was because of the 2019 General Conference. Actually, the cabinet just lost their dartboard.
Some people long for a life that is simple and planned, tied with a ribbon. Some people won't sail the sea 'cause they're safer on land. To follow what's written, but I am a part
So you may have realized or not realized, Ed Coylite, who led Gridiron for 25 years, that's like a really long time, he did something a little different. And one of the things we try to do is make sure that each one of the persons who leads this has their own kind of signature. And so Ed's was Lake Wobegon, and then, you know, Garrison Keeler got into some Lake Wobegon troubles as he was not going fast enough. And so now we're doing what is called thank you notes. So we will be writing some thank you notes tonight, and we're very thankful for all those who have been a part of things. First of all, let's give a big ol' hand to our pianist today. Amazing, and she was over playing at the UMW luncheon too, so we thank you for that. You ready, Judy? Thank you, United Methodist Church, for making sure that all pastors and laity have a new spiritual gift, the ability to stand on shaky ground. It's a shaky desk, too. We gotta do an outro first. There. Thank you, Bishop Jimmy Nunn, for proving that the clergy of the Oklahoma Annual Conference would rather be hit by a tornado than have to vote one more time. And you know, someone said later on that he said, there's a storm and we should get out of the building. Wait a minute. You don't tell people to get out of a building in a storm. Was there even a storm? Thank you, District Superintendent Larry Bowman. When you sent out the email asking for help with appointments that were not yet filled, I realized the appointment process had morphed from discernment of gifts and deep prayer to come and get it! Thank you, Oklahoma Conference of the United Methodist Church, for your part in raising the stock of Prozac and Xanax. Thank you, United Methodist Women, for 150 years of amazing work. Their quadrennium's 4 mission priorities are, and this is true, climate justice, economic inequality, maternal and child health, and criminalization of communities of color and mass incarceration. What? You may have to pull us forward kicking and screaming, but just keep pulling. Oh, yes. Thank you, Bishop Nunn, for showing us we don't have to be perfect. Heck, we don't even have to remember the name of the person we've worked with for years sitting right next to us. Just a few more good stuff this year. Thank you to our amazing mission speaker from the General Board. You reminded us that mission is hard, mission is messy, and mission is ministry. But I gotta tell you, I didn't get into this job to be covered in crap. Okay, so this is the one I didn't write down that they told me was too far. Y'all gotta vote. Okay. Are you ready? Do it. Do it! Good, fall off a cliff. Go ahead. Let's go for us to watch. Thank you, Joe Harris, for saying so gently and sensitively, do you need more time? Your wife called, and she appreciates it when you ask her that too. Thank you, Gridiron crew. We were small but mighty this year, but you all are amazing. And don't worry, next year I'll make sure and have blackmail items on all the rest of them too. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We try to always start by those who are leaving this position, and I want you to know I stalked you on Facebook so that we could write this song. I want to be a prima son whose penalty is paid, who served his term with faith and joy, and now will gone away. I want to see him dance a jig as he sheds off the stress of 8 long years of serving in the
mission. What do you do? Apparently, hit the accelerator wasn't the right answer.
One DS told me that telling the bishop to be brief is like telling Donald Trump to be humble. I won't mention which one.
As we mentioned earlier, there are no health screenings for pastors this year. I heard the cabinet decided to get rid of them. If uninformed decision-making was good enough for the cabinet, it was good enough for everybody. Terry, this one's for you. Be thou mighty as so Terry goeth. Be thou my master, my colleague, my friend. Come to the green country and lay your roots down. No need to fear and no need for a frown. When Bishop called you and asked you to serve, where will you stay, Methodist? His first words. You must have said yes, for now here you are. Oh, what a sucker for your English charm. When my church tells you to say I will die, or we can pay abortion as this month, just try to smile and take a deep breath. You are the DS, oh Terry Cohen. Let's hear it
You know you got a tough church when the UMW sponsors the local chapter of Hell's Angels.
Oh, they figured out what happened on that first voter to go around with the clergy vote. Somebody checked, and every time the clergy hit their little finger clicker thing, hit that little clicker thing, garage doors went up all over.
That's what happens when people hit their wingers.
You know, you never know what he's going to say. We had more retired clergy at annual conference this year than ever before. It helps to offer medicinal brownies at the retiree luncheon.
We thank you for coming. This is our final song, so stand up and go ahead and sing it with us.
start. So, blessed rest to you. And if you didn't notice, the deaconess bonnet on the table is for your contributions to Gridiron.